Well, hello there. We're going to talk a little bit about the online courses in COMM 101, Fundamentals of Public Speaking. I'm your instructor, Keith Klein, and we're going to speak specifically to courses 80, 81, and 83N. Those are the online courses. 80 and 81 are 16-week courses. 83 is an 8-week course, and we're going to talk about those courses in terms of what you need to know and some special things that will be happening. So let me tell you that we'll be talking about course-related things from time to time. This is the way we'll do it. This is a webcam, and I'll talk to you this way. When I make a specific reference to somebody in the class, I will make the reference to you by your fantasy name. If you've read the announcements in the course, then you already know what that is. If you haven't, you are way behind already in this course. So make sure you take a look at all of the announcements. Now let's take a look at the syllabus. I'm going to be speaking specifically from the 83N, but that's because the 83 and the 80 and the 81N are exactly the same. The difference being that in the 83N course, you're doing 2 class sessions a week instead of 1. So you're doing a 16-week program in 8 weeks. Everyone else is doing 16 weeks in 16 weeks. So for you in 83N, the first 8 weeks course, you're doubled up on everything. So let's take a look. We have the syllabus, and the syllabus, I'm looking over here to another screen which has this stuff on it. The syllabus has got a lot of things in there, how to contact me, how to contact the supervisors. Then it's got course objectives in there, and it's got the required text and materials. But because you signed up for an online course, your textbook was in the included, and so it's part of the electronic textbook. Required materials. You need a digital video camera. You'll need that digital video camera and a tripod in order to record your speeches and send them to me by posting them in Connect. By the way, we had a little bit of a problem with Connect, some technical problems. That has now been fixed. I sent out a message about that. You should have received that message and should now be able to do everything to connect into the course. So you will need a location to record your speeches in. You'll need an audience of at least 6 people. They all have to be 16 years of age or older, and that audience must be there for every one of your speeches. Failure to give any speech will result in an F in the course. You must give all of the speeches. Failure to have a full 6-person audience will reduce your letter grade significantly. You must have 6 people in your audience. They will pass in front of the camera, look right at the camera like I'm doing right now. They will say, "My name is," and then they will give their age. Now, some people are sensitive to talking about how old they are, and if that happens, all you need to do is say, "I am over 21. They better be over 21, so don't have a teenager in there saying I'm over 21. 16 years of age or older in order to be in your audience. We'll talk more about that later. You have some information there on technology needs and resources. You have the college policies, the copyright statement, and the ADA statement. You have the course policies and procedures. You have the attendance policy. You must turn in an assignment in this course, discussion board, syllabus quiz, for you that are in either of the courses, by Sunday, August 31st at 11:59 p.m. Okay? Everybody must do that. For the 83N course, you've got some other things you want to take a look at the calendar. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, the last day to withdraw gets a little technical, because if you're in an 8-week class, the first 8-week class, the last day to withdraw in the first 8-week class is October 4th. October 4th. In the 16-week class, you have until November 15th. November 15th. Course communication. You will only communicate to me from your Ivy Tech email address to my Ivy Tech email address, and we'll talk more about that as it goes on. But do not send me a message from Yahoo, Gmail, anything. It's got to come from your Ivy Tech email address. All right, we'll talk more about that, and you've got announcements in the announcements section on that. The assignments and grading is there. It's explained. Do not post any course questions anywhere Do not leave messages for me anywhere. Communicate to me either by phone. I prefer phone. It's nice if you're in front of your computer and I'm in front of my computer. We can see the same thing, talk about it at the same time. All right, exams, there are 5 of them. They're worth 20 points each. It's open book. If you have any questions about any of that, we'll do that. There's information there about the written assignment format. Make sure you pay attention to that. There's information there about guidelines for speeches that talks about dress professionally. If you don't care how you look, and therefore I won't care about how low your grade goes. Dress for the speech. They got things in there about practicing your speech. Don't ever memorize the speech in this course. Don't even try to do it. It won't work. You may think it works, but it'll be so obvious, and you've gone way beyond what you need to do. No gum chewing, no hats, no hoodies, and no hair in the face. Sometimes the girls have the hair that hangs down, and it gets in their eyes, and so they do the flip like this, to flip the hair back up. Hey, it looks like there's some kind of a problem. It distracts from your speech. Don't do that. Some people have a little bit of a text sound when they are speaking, and that's very annoying, and some of you don't realize you're doing it, and you must not do that. I call it the tisk. Girls have a little more of a tendency than guys, but guys do it too, and you do that, it's going to affect your grade in this course. So start listening to your stuff and see. You need to have sufficient lighting. You need to have sufficient audio. The camera is where the microphone is. So if you go way back there and you zoom to this shot, then I'm not going to be able to hear you because the camera with the microphone is too far away from you. Now, notice this shot, an inch or two above my head, bust line. This is the only shot I ever want to see on any speech you turn in this class. Freeze the camera on this shot. Now, you're not supposed to be moving, so you won't be moving in and out of the picture. Do not zoom in or out. Do not pan left or right. Do not tilt up or down. This shot only. Now, if you have a visual and you can hold up the visual like this while you're talking, fine. If not, you will send me a copy of the visual that you had over there somewhere for your audience to see that's there with you live. We'll talk more about that. You must have a tripod. Your camera can't be bouncing around while you're talking, so you need a tripod, etc., etc. Discussion boards. There are 16 of them. They're worth 10 points each. They're supposed to be, half of it is your answer. The other half is you're responding to other people in the class. If you fail to do the first response, you'll lose 5 points. If you fail to respond to somebody else, you'll lose 5 points. There were 160 points there. There's 1,000 points in the class. So 160 points, if you can figure out the math, is a letter grade and a half. You'll need every point you can get, so don't forego doing the discussion boards. They're crucial to your final grade in this class. Test requirements, there are 5 tests, 20 points each. Written assignment requirements tells you what to do, how to do it. Talks about the points. There are 5 speeches. You must do every one of them. In addition to the speeches, there's the discussion board. There are the exams, the speech peer reviews, the Learn Smarts, and the public speaker critique, adding up to 1,000 points. And then you will see that there are points, so 900 to 1,000 is an A, 800 to 899 is a B, etc., etc. Additional support is listed there on where you can go to do things and get additional information that you need. Now, we're going to take a look at the calendar as soon as I get that up. And on the calendar, you will see that you have class sessions. That's on the far left. And then you have what needs to be done reading-wise, and then what needs to be done assignment-wise. Now, in the 83N course, I'm only speaking 83N, you have 2 sessions. And if you look, session 1 and session 2, due date, way over on the right, is 8/31/14. Everyone else will have a due date of 8/31 for the first week, and then whatever the first week's deadline is in September for the second week. The 8-week course has 2 sessions due each week. So the first week, you have to submit a practice video, you have to take the syllabus quiz, and you have to submit your self-introduction speech. All the first week, due by the 31st of August. Okay? The practice video is not graded, but you ought to look at that I still need to have it posted because it's going to teach you how to post the speech, and it's also going to give you an opportunity to review and see how well you did. So make sure that if you're in the 83N that you pay attention to everything you have to do. The exams are listed there in addition to when all of the speeches are due, and all of you need to pay special attention to the 15 and 16 week sessions, or session 15 and 16, because you may have a slightly earlier deadline on turning in the stuff for those 2 sessions. All right. Basically, when you want to talk to me, you need to contact me via telephone. I don't like writing. I'm a speech teacher, and I like talking to you. And so call me, preferably you're in front of your computer, I'm in front of mine. We can communicate best that way. Something about me. I've been teaching over 40 years. I graduated from Indiana University with a degree in radio and television, speech and theater. I spent 10 years as a news correspondent at NBC News in Chicago. I came back to Indiana University, ran their television station for 20 years, did a lot of on-air television, and then I went to Cook Group Incorporated, a privately owned medical device manufacturing company in Bloomington. Spent 3.5 years there, traveling all over the world, and having responsibilities even for the Cook basketball team in Manchester, England. Then I came to Ivy Tech. I've been with Ivy Tech going on 12 years. I originally was development, public relations, and marketing, and then I moved over into the communications chair, where I now reside as chair of communications for Ivy Tech Bloomington. If you have any questions, look at the syllabus. My phone number is there, including my cell phone number. Don't call me after 11 p.m. If you have any problem while you're taking a test or you're trying to do something, call me right away, but don't wait till the last minute, because if you're doing it at 11 o'clock and you're not supposed to call me after 11 o'clock, you don't want to take that chance. All right, if you have any questions, call me in my office. You have that number. You also have a toll-free number for doing that, and we'll talk again soon. When I talk to you, I will use your fantasy name and not your real name, but when we talk on the telephone, we'll do it that way. Send me emails only from your Ivy Tech email address to my Ivy Tech email address, and we'll get along just fine. All right, we'll talk to you next time. You have a good one, and we'll be back.